Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode in the latest and greatest in Pokemon TCG news. This is the Poke Advisor podcast, and today we'll be breaking down an article about the 10 best-selling Pokemon cards of 2024. It pays to be popular. This article is published January 10th, and without any further ado, let's begin. First of all, 2024 was a big year in the history books, and we're kicking off Prismatic Evolution soon, so that's going to be even bigger. There's volume and there's value. So we're going to look at bestsellers by volume, what sold the most in terms of numbers. And here is our chart. So we got Earthen Vessel. They're all pretty cheap cards. Super Rod, Iono, Nest Ball from Base Set and Paldean Fates, Double Turbo, Professor Sada's Vitality, Iono, Ultra Ball, and Pokegear. So these are probably, I'm not familiar with any of these cards, to be honest with you, but I would assume, being bestsellers and very common cards, they are either sold a lot because you get them a lot in packs and sets, or they're very competitive. All of these cards are competitive staples, which is what I said. They're also all trainer cards, which makes sense. And there isn't a single Pokemon in the mix. So there you have it. I mean, I'm not going to touch on this too much, but these are kind of the backbones of Pokemon. If you've played Pokemon TCG Pocket, you'll understand how important trainer cards are in making the game, and so I can understand why these will be the most sold. Now let's go over best-selling Pokemon cards by value. Why look at bestsellers by value? It shows us which Pokemon cards are in high demand, which ones are most expensive. And when a card is expensive and fans are still willing to buy it in droves, that's the mark of a true hit. So here's the poll. Obviously, Moonbreon, and we've covered these cards, and I mean, we've covered these cards so much. So I'm not surprised by any of these. So without any further ado, we've got Umbreon Charizard from Scarlet and Violet, obviously. Umbreon's 1400, we've seen that before. Charizard 151, we've seen that it has surpassed 200. And are you here for the next? Paldean Fates Charizard 160. Mew from Paldean Fates 266. Greninja from Twilight Masquerade at 318. Pretty impressive. Giratina Lost Origins at $532. Wow. This is the second most expensive card in this list. Charizard base set $435. Prime Catcher, this is the least expensive in this list. I'm not sure how it made it. Lugia $230. And Gengar Fusion Strike $519. This Giratina is something else, man. I mean, look at that. I am not surprised by any of these except for Prime Catcher and base set Charizard, to be honest with you. I haven't really seen his name up. I mean, it is base set Charizard, so, So Gengar, we've seen that it rose in price from 300 to 565 in the last 3 months. The worst pull rates of any Pokemon set we've ever analyzed is from Fusion Strike. So don't open your Fusion Strikes. That's, in short, that's what that means. Its chase cards are exceedingly hard to find by ripping open booster packs. This year, the market finally recognized that fact, and Gengar grew to a price comparable to the other big cards released at the height of the pandemic era collectibles boom. And then Lugia, which is also hard to pull. It is going for $244 from $170, cementing its place as one of the most valuable cards of 2022. Year's Trainer Gallery cards were introduced. It's quite an achievement. Not only is this the first alternative art Lugia card we've ever seen, but Lugia has been a competitive staple going on 3 years. Okay. Prime Catcher, let's see what the hype is about this. So Prime Catcher is the only card on this list that earned its spot entirely through competitive success rather than collectability, and that success was well earned. Released early in the year in Temporal Forces, Prime Catcher immediately caught on as the best A-Spec card in the set. Players are only allowed to play a single A-Spec, so the choice of which one to play is critical. No other A-Spec is as useful as Prime Catcher. Okay. Charizard base set at $440. Base set Charizard has slipped a few places since last year, but it's still arguably the most iconic card in the history of trading card games. I'll be shocked if it ever fails to land among the most popular Pokemon cards of the year. Note that this is specifically the unlimited print. That's what I was curious about. So this is unlimited print Charizard, not first edition. The more common of the three base set prints. Both the Shadowless and the first edition are found under this catalog listing instead. So, price graph, 1600. This is Shadowless. I want to know how much first edition costs. That probably reflects the higher supply of the unlimited version, but it also suggests that fans feel more emotional attachment to the art, history, and the Charizard of it all than they do specific printings, especially when those small printing differences cost 10 times as much more. First edition Charizard. $379,000 for a 9.5. $450 for a CGC 10, but it's not even first edition. Wow, that's insane. I don't see any of these with the first edition. Oh, there it is. It's on the left side. I should have known better. So 9.5 is 3. That's the cost of a house. Wow. Giratina 530. It's making its way. Like Lugia, Giratina doubled in price from 300, almost 600. Shinji Kanda, obviously. Magikarp is also on the rise at 225. Okay. Greninja, I really like this Greninja card, 335. Interesting. Bubble Mew, 266 from 107. Even less. Yeah, I remember when it was $80. 6 months ago? Wow. Oh, I have this Charizard card, so I'm glad there's one card that I have that made the list. So it's almost at peak price right now, 175. 184 was peak, so it had peaked when it first came out. I mean, it's a beautiful card. It's a beautiful card. It's like the Red Eyes Black Dragon Yu-Gi-Oh card. That's what it reminds me of. And 175. I can see it appreciate more over time. Paldean Fates, high rarity. #1 choice card of Paldean Fates and the front runner for most expensive of 2024. Fell behind in the races to its own UX from Paldean Fates. It actually ended the year above its initial pre-release price, showing that it doesn't take long for modern Charizards to live up to their hype. Then Charizard EX for 222. Here's another Charizard. It was a dream come true. And we had Blastoise for 83 now. And Venusaur at 78. So they kind of fall together. But this Charizard average sale was 130. It's at 222 now. And then obviously the king of modern. This is, if Charizard first edition base set was the king of its time, Umbreon is the king of our time at 1400. Average sale price in 2024 was 887. So even though the price rose, people probably aren't buying as much for this price. Wow, if you spend enough time online, you'll find fans who consider this card overrated. I don't think it's overrated. I like that there's an ideal card. Is Charizard first edition overrated? That's the bigger question. All right, and that is all the most valuable cards of the year. Do you think there was a card that deserves a spot? And do you think any of these cards are overrated? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe to win your chance of winning the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box Prismatic Evolutions coming out January 17th. Thank you.